The Bahawalpur incident was one of the worst massacres of Christians in Pakistan since the nation's independence from Great Britain in 1947. On Sunday morning, October 28, 2001, 5 radical Islamic gunmen stormed the compound of St. Dominic's Church. About 70 Protestants were just concluding their service when 3 of the terrorists burst into the church. They emptied about 500 rounds on the congregation within 6 minutes. One gunman, armed with a Kalashnikov automatic weapon, approached the pastor as he stood behind the pulpit. He ordered Pastor Emmanuel to throw his Bible down to the ground. The pastor replied, "I will not." He embraced his Bible and pressed it close to his heart. He turned his back on the terrorists. The gunman then opened fire on the pastor while shouting, "Allahu Akbar, God is great." Pastor Emmanuel leaves behind a wife and 6 children. His widow, Seraphine, grieves and sheds tears for the loss of her husband and the end of their blissful 28-year marriage.
He is very kind and kind-hearted person, and he never abused me in my marriage life, and he is a good example of a pastor. And I never forgot his kindnesses.
Seraphine says her 2 oldest daughters were angry with the Muslims for killing their father. She says she insisted that her family members release their bitterness.
According to our Jesus said, pray for your enemy, and I want that as a Christians, we should pray for them and forgive them, and do not take revenge. In this incident, we are happy when we are praying, rejoicing before Lord. This attack will be done, and it is a privilege for us that my husband is a martyr and he is with the Lord.
As Pastor Emmanuel fell to the ground, he caught one last glimpse into the big brown eyes of his little 4-year-old daughter, Kinza. Kinza must now come to grips with the tragedy of witnessing the murder of her father. She has difficulty sleeping at night, but remains confident of her papa's salvation.
My papa is with Jesus Christ now.
Look closely at this young Pakistani girl. Her former Muslim employers claim she is a criminal. 16-year-old Safina says she is a victim, that her only crime is being a Christian in a nation dominated by Muslims, a nation where Christians are treated as third-class citizens. Christians are only 2% of the Pakistani population. Employment and educational opportunities for most are limited, and often Christians are forced to take jobs as street sweepers or brick kiln workers. Last year, Safina was working as a household helper for a wealthy Muslim family, cooking and cleaning to earn money to help support her own family. 2 young males in the Muslim family were quite taken by Safina. Her dark brown eyes and warm smile captured their attention, and one wanted her for his wife. There was one problem. She was not a Muslim. Safina says the family began to pressure her to renounce her faith in Christ and to turn to Islam, then marry the son and become a part of the family. She refused.
I don't want to become Muslim. I am a Christian. I don't want to leave my faith.
Safina wanted to quit her job, but her family's poverty forced her to keep the job and the meager income it provided. Finally, the young man gave up on having Safina as his wife and decided to take her by force. One day last year, while Safina was working in the home, the 2 young males dragged her into a room and raped her.
They forced me. They caught me. I went up on the roof to hang clothes on the line, and they scratched me and raped me. One of them had a revolver in his hand, and they went up on the roof and they said, "Don't cry. Don't tell anyone, otherwise we are going to kill you."
Safina was shattered. She quit her job. She didn't want to face her rapist in his home each day. Before Safina could bring charges, the Muslim family struck first. They charged her with stealing, claiming that Safina stole from them while she was their employee. They had her arrested, and she was locked up at the local police station. When it seemed that things could get no worse for Safina, they did. The young man who had raped her went to the police station and was allowed to see Safina. He raped her again. A police officer assigned to guard her also raped her, intensifying her shame. Because they're poor and viewed as infidels in Pakistani society, Christian girls are often attacked, raped, and even kidnapped by Muslim men. The men often go unpunished because Christians have little influence or money to fight the perpetrators in court. And so it was for Safina. Today, she still struggles with the thought of forgiving her attackers. She has graduated from sewing school, and a tutor has taught her English and other subjects. Safina was recently baptized and married. She looks forward to life with her new husband and a deeper relationship with Jesus Christ.